Pierre-Paul was driving. It's Rodgers-Cromartie with the interception. That may have slammed the door.
Easiest interception I've ever seen. Could this be the final straw for Case Keenum? He threw four interceptions, and the Rams lost again. Their third loss in a row. We are talking about it. And wait till you see this panel next on Sports Wrap.
Fox 11 Sports Wrap is brought to you by the 2016 Jeep Cherokee. With an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon, it's the perfect choice. Visit Jeep.com for more information.
Hi, everybody. It is London week, and so I've got a special team with me. Joining me, three Rams legends. As always, I've got Jackie Slater right next to me, Hall of Famer. And then Dennis Harrah, who made it to the Pro Bowl 6 times as an LA Ram, and Leroy Irvin, six, how many times you went? 2 years as a pro corner for the Ram to the Pro Bowl, right? Yes. So I've got an all-star cast with me. Jackie, lead us off with some thoughts on London week.
Oh, my goodness. Well, at least they had a great experience over there. I mean, you got to know they had a great experience. Wow. They were there all week long, and they were rested for the game, perhaps. But some of the things that we saw was a little bit disturbing. I certainly didn't expect Case Keenum to have the kind of day he did. I certainly didn't expect to see the lack of synchronized route running and throwing the ball that really caused them a lot of problems. And I expected to see a whole lot more of Todd Gurley. I was very disappointed with the rush game output. And I think that was the defense that we were all hoping. Remember we talked about it? That was the defense we were all hoping that he would get healthy and really, really pop off a big day, get started.
Let me get the highlights, guys, before I have you weigh in on some of this. So I'll show some of this and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Here we go.
They've gone to the nickel in the secondary for the Giants, and that is caught for a touchdown.
First Rams possession, Case Keenum finds Tavon Austin. Rams out fast, 7-0. But midway through the second quarter, Case Keenum throws the first of his interceptions, and it turns into points for New York.
Into the nickel, second down, 11 for Keenum. Right through the hands of Austin, and picked off on the ricochet by Landon Collins. And Collins has the pick. His first of the year, breaking one tackle after another. And he's got some blockers ahead like Jenkins and Casillas, and he's inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown!
That was the craziest pick six ever. No one wants to make tackles is what it more looked like, right, Jackie? Game tied at 10. Yeah, I know.
You know, the only thing that I'm disturbed about and concerned about is that that's the third time this season we've had a conversation about pick six. As in intercept the ball and return it for 6.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Look at this, though, guys, before we get to it. In the fourth, Giants up 17-10 with 4 minutes left. Now, Keenum goes to the end zone, but he throws that ball into double coverage, and that's actually the final. This is the final interception where he didn't throw into double coverage. He threw it right to Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. That was it. That was the end of the game for them. And this is where you were the most upset, Jackie. But first, let's hear what Jeff Fisher has to say about all of this.
The quarterback's not the reason, by the way, that we lost 3 games. So, you know, I'm staying with Case. I thought he played, you know, he had a couple tips and things like that today, not necessarily his fault. And then Brian didn't get the audible adjustment at the end. Jared's going to play when we feel Jared's ready, you know. And I know you would, had we won this game, you wouldn't have been asking about Jared, which I understand. Okay, but you know, we didn't lose this game because the quarterback played today. Okay, we lost at some other positions.
Oh. He wanted to head everyone off at the pass. He wasn't even asked about Case Keenum. He made a statement about Case Keenum.
Don't even go there. He doesn't even want you to go there.
He doesn't even want you to go there. Do we just accept what he says?
Well, I mean, I think we have to. We don't have any other choice. You know, when you think about it, why would you take the top pick in the draft? You gave a boatload of picks up for this kid. Why would you take him and sit him this long?
Well,
something has to be wrong.
All right, guys.
That's the problem.
Well,
Dennis and Leroy,
the rumor I have heard is that he's having a hard time taking a snap from center. Through high school, through college, he was always in the shotgun, and just he fumbled a little bit earlier in the season when preseason and that nature. So maybe he's still having trouble snap from center. There's got to be some type of problem. But again, when you talk about this, Those wide receivers, I felt, you know, there was 3 of those interceptions that the wide receivers could have done a better job. And, you know, the routes that he didn't finish the route. When Trayvon Austin didn't finish the route in the end zone, and the last play, there was a miscommunication there. I mean, he quit running. What was that? What was he doing? They're a young team. And I just think they're making young mistakes at this present time.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to weigh in, but first let's hear what Case Keenum has to say about some of those interceptions, and then let's respond to that. Here's Case.
Well, it's on me. I've got to communicate better. Whatever it is, I've got to talk to the guys about signals beforehand and be ready to go. What I saw pre-snap was they were going to pressure us up, and I was just trying to give Brian a chance at the end in the back of the end zone, but I didn't signal it well enough. So we weren't on the same page, and you know, I got to give our guys a chance. A few plays before that, we've had some chances too, and if a little bit better balls. I think Mike Thomas scores if I throw a better ball on that, and then I think Bradley scores if I throw a little better ball on that too. So we're down there, we got a shot at it, and you know, it's just tough. Didn't make the play we needed to.
Is that going to satisfy anything, Leroy, him taking the blame?
Well, you know, that's what leaders do. You know, you don't go and throw your teammates under the bus. You know, obviously you can't go back and change what has already happened. You know, I'm just concerned with throwing the ball 53 times. You know, I know he played really well last week, and with the 18 completions in a row. But I think that's something you have to. You know, it's going to come once in a while. He's not going to automatically start being this guy that can throw it 50 times and we can win ball games. And what Jackie was saying about the run, I mean, Gurley, 16 carries. I mean, what's the identity of this team? Is it going to be a running team, a Gurley team, or is it going to be a pass-happy team? And I think today they're more pass-happy.
And I agree with Leroy. I really do. I was hoping to see Gurley get unleashed today. And relative to Keenan, I mean, I like that type of an attitude. We want that type of an attitude. We want the guy to stand up and say, hey, I confess I did it, instead of I confess they did it. And that's the kind of leader, and Dennis, to tell you, those are the type of leaders that we had that gave us an opportunity to be successful over the long haul, because nobody was going to be blaming him. And he knew that he knew that he wasn't, everyone knew that we were in his corner, and we had a chance to win because of the attitude. You got to develop great attitude.
I get that. I understand
for a team to play well.
But if he can't put them in a position to win at the end of the game, Dennis, what good is attitude?
Well, you know,
isn't the rest of the team going to break down?
You were talking about the receivers.
I cannot blame it all on him. I'm just telling you right now, I'm watching these receivers, and they're not finishing their route, and there's this miscommunication. And I keep going back to the same thing. It's a young team, but these receivers need to do their job. They need to catch the ball. When it hits your hands, we should have a stat for drop balls. You know, you've got you got errors in baseball. Why would you not have drop balls in football? We need that statistic because there's drop balls out there, and then we don't have that statistic. They're not doing their job. Offensive line's not doing their job. Gurley can only do so much. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, but we got to block. We got to block better. They are not blocking well enough for me. Not pass protection, not run block.
All right, so we can talk about Case Keenum all we want, but is Jared Goff the answer? Look, he may be waiting in the wings, but suddenly the team, does it look that much better with Jared Goff in there?
Well, a lot of people would say, why not? You can't do any worse. But the reality of it all is, you think about it. We were talking about this today. The mechanics of an offensive lineman taking a pass set with consistency to deal with very talented pass rushers you don't just go out there and do that. So you magnify that by putting a guy on a center where he's got to take a snap, he's got to drop back into the pocket, he's got to plant, he's got to avoid the upfield rush, and he's got to read the defense, step into the pocket, and make the throw. That is not easy, and it takes time, and he's never done it before. Why should anybody expect him to be able to do that, Leroy?
Well, you know, we shouldn't, and that's what. And so Jeff has to make a strategic decision. Okay, if I take Keenan out, am I saying the season's over? I mean, we're only 3-4. We're a couple games out of first place. And if I go with Goff and he doesn't do well with Jeff's situation at the end of the year, so I think you go with the guy you think can get the job done, and I don't think Jeff thinks Goff can get the job done right now.
That's a very good point.
But it's been suggested that Jeff Fisher is saving his job by keeping Case Keenum in? Because with each week he can say, well, my #1 draft pick isn't ready yet. So.
Yeah, well, a lot of people would look and speculate that that's an excuse that the coaches use. But I don't think this guy's been a head coach in the National Football League for 20 years. What could he care? He wants to win, and he wants it. I think he wants his win-loss record to reflect the quality of the type of coach that he has been in the National Football League. And I don't think, the way he addressed the media over there in London, he was to the point. He said, no, you wouldn't even be talking to me about the quarterback if this guy had played the way he played last week or if we'd won the ball game. So I don't think he's looking for an excuse. I think he really wants to win, and I think his football team knows he wants them to win.
I disagree with we wouldn't be asking him about Case Keenum. He puts those words in the media mouth. I think the media would ask him about Case Keenum with some of the mistakes, but he wants to control that message. But hey, listen, hold on to these thoughts. We're going to continue with that and talk about the Dodgers because this is Sports Wrap and we talk about more than just football. The Dodgers season came to an end last night in Chicago. Unfortunately, the Cubs beat LA in Game 6 of the National League Championship season 5-0. The Cubbies move on to their first World Series since 1945. Yasiel Puig grounded in a game-ending double play. Dodger hearts broken, but wow, what this did for the Cubs and their fans. It really was like nothing you have seen in the longest time. The party hasn't stopped. I'm sure of it. I have firsthand knowledge. And we have Phil Schumann in Chicago to confirm that outside Wrigley Field. Phil?
Well, Liz, a party's a good word for it. Whether you're buying a souvenir or you're taking a selfie outside Wrigley, the fans just keep coming all morning, all night. And it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. And, the Dodgers aren't real happy about admitting it. But they say the better team did win.
I don't know if it was a whole lot different because they haven't been in so long. But, making it to the World Series is no small feat, no matter how long you haven't been there. So, obviously everything we expected tonight, and you give a lot of credit to the Cubs. They played well the whole series and started swinging the bats there the last 3-4 games, and just a better team.
As one of the leaders of this club, what do you say to the guys at the end of a season like this?
We say great job. We played our hearts out. We did everything we expected, and we never gave up. I was just telling Kenny the last 3 games we didn't play great baseball. We made errors. We made mental errors, physical errors, and they took advantage and they beat us. And with a great team like they are, you can't afford to do those kind of things.
Now, we all love our sports teams, of course, but with the long-suffering Cubs fans, they've taken the passion for their team to a whole new level. I want to show you what it looked like inside one of the merchandise stores this afternoon across the street from Wrigley. You can imagine anything that had 2016 National League champions on it, anything that had World Series on it was selling out just as fast as they could resupply it. A season ticket holder told me that on the secondary market, the best seats here at Wrigley for the World Series are already being listed at $12,000. Standing room, almost $3,000. Remember, capacity is only 42,000. They'll probably get those prices or close to it. It's just a love affair with this team. That goes back, in some cases, 100 years. Listen to some fans, both the Cubs and the Dodgers.
It's once in a lifetime opportunity. I would think so. You dream about it. You see people every year cry. This year, next year. Well, now It's time. It's our year.
Give me your assessment of the Dodgers' 2016 season now that it's over.
Well, they battled through a lot of injuries. Obviously, they broke a record on injuries. They had no pitching beyond Kershaw and Hill. The kid, Urias, he's just too young.
It means just remembering watching all these Cubs games with my grandfather. It's amazing just to see how far they've come, the great team, the spirit of the city. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
Joe Madden, Dave Roberts both had excellent seasons, but Dodger fans have to admit they were outpitched, outhit, and outplayed in this series. The Dodgers, compared to the Cubs won more games than anyone else in Major League Baseball this year for a reason, Lives. And when it comes to depth, the Dodgers just don't have it when it comes to the pitching, and the Cubs did, and that's what wins in the postseason. Live in Chicago, I'm Phil Schumann. Liz?
Phil, thanks very much. And isn't that a broken record? So now on to the World Series, Cubs and Indians, and you can see every game right here on Fox 11. Game 1 is Tuesday night. First pitch is just after 5 o'clock. I'll be on at 4 to get you ready with a pregame show. Cubs fans, be sure you're here. Coming up, we're going to talk more about today's Rams game from London. Jackie, Dennis, Leroy. I'll provoke you into saying something when we come back. They probably don't need provoking, though, right, guys?
Don't need provoking. Do not need provoking.
Trying to hold Dennis back.
Yeah, hold him back.
I feel like an Oreo.
The You Pick 'em Football Challenge is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's your chance to score by picking the winners. Jack in the Box is giving away $25 gift cards all season long to weekly winners and one $250 grand prize gift card to the season winner. Go to foxla.com/contests and click on the You Pick 'em banner to play the You Pick 'em Football Challenge, sponsored by Jack in the Box. Open late because hunger doesn't have a curfew.
That's the
Pierre-Paul was driving. It's Rogers Cromartie with the interception. That may have slammed the door.
If an interception can get worse, it got worse with that. What I mean is wide open. You just throw him right to him. Case Keenum, 4 interceptions today. Leroy, how many what's the stat you came up with? 10? 10 over the last?
10 interceptions over 7 games. So that's
10 over 7 games.
And that's not even counting the pick sixes. 3 of those.
Well, they're in there, right? And 3 of them are, you know, these are game-changing right when they're driving, right when they're setting up to have a chance to win games. Case Keenum does that. So they enter the bye week at 3-4. Here's the standings in the NFC West. All right, guys, Seattle in the lead, Arizona 3-3. Those two are playing each other tonight, and the Rams.
That's a big game. I was a little bit disappointed it came back, 3-4. The odds are not very good for them now to be getting into the playoffs. But I'm going to be watching how they play. I'm going to be watching the intensity in which they do everything they do from this point on, because that'll tell you a whole lot about the leadership that this football team has, the way the team plays from this point on.
We have talked so much about Case Keenum and the offense. The defense is a bright side. The defense was good this week.
Yeah, it really was, and Leroy would appreciate this.
A defensive guy.
Going into this ball game, their secondary was really. They had the backs against the wall.
Right.
They had two really young corners, Leroy, and we saw Odell Beckham Jr. coming off a 200-yard day. And what did they do today? They came out today and they played great football. I thought the corners were very aggressive. I thought the secondary, the big safeties, did a fantastic job. They were not going to let Odell Beckham beat them today and hurt the Rams' chances of winning.
You know, you're right. Cruz, great receiver. Cruz, 5 catches, 56 yards, and the great Beckham, he had 5 catches, 49 yards. I think the corners answered the bell today. But the defense, Manning, 196 yards passing. I mean, we won the game in every category except the scores.
In every category.
And the Giants only rushed for what was it, 36 yards?
36 yards.
36 yards. Now, when you can hold somebody 36 yards, Jackie, if you would be an offensive lineman and you only got 36 yards, I fix maybe get fired the next week.
That's right. We didn't feel too good going back in the locker room after getting fired.
Imagine Eric Dickerson only getting 36 yards.
I can't even imagine.
No,
can't even imagine.
No, I
but
can't.
the thing is, you would have got us more than 10 points. I mean, you have to. And this league is a scoring league. This is not the old 1960s, 1970 where you win games 10-7 and 6-3. This is a scoring league.
That's what the fans want to see. They want to see the ball put in the air. But I know right now this football team is built to run the football. It's built to use a big back behind big physical offensive linemen. And that was what I was a little bit disappointed about. I didn't see Gurley get untracked today. He only had 57 yards. And this team is ranked like in the high 20th in all of the 21st in the National Football League and runs and giving up runs.
I just don't see the offensive line getting off, Jackie. I don't see him coming off the ball like I like to see. I don't see him getting to the linebackers. And I think that's a problem. Now, I don't want to do a coaching deal or whatever, but I'm telling you, you've been training guys for years. And I think you need to go out there and train the Rams guys and get a little fire in their butt and absolutely get down the field, start pushing people, and start getting that attitude, get that swagger back. Even though I know they lost the last 3, but they still need to dig down deep, get that swagger back, and go out there and kick somebody's butt.
Let me take a break on that.
He makes a great point about swagger. You got to have some of that.
You got to have it. You got to have that.
We're not done talking about that. Coming up, a treat for you, old school LA Rams fans.
Leroy!
I didn't even need to say it. How about this guy?
Did he have hair then? Did he have hair?
He shaved it on purpose.
Hercules!
Hercules hair.
Hercules!
Hey, at least I got hair.
Yeah, coming out the back of the helmet right there, all over the place.
Oh, the girls love it.
Today's Fox 11 Spotlight is on Jack in the Box.
Other combos claim to give you a full meal, but my full-size BLT cheeseburger combo eats those combos for lunch. You get a tasty, full-size BLT cheeseburger, made with hickory smoked bacon, plus hot and salty fries and a refreshing freestyle drink, all for just $4.99. That's a whole lot of flavor in one huge combo. The BLT cheeseburger combo, only $4.99. Combos done my way.
Go to foxla.com and click on the Jack in the Box banner to find a location near you.
This is Danny Trejo, a.k.a. Machete, a.k.a. Marsha Brady. And you're watching Sports Rap with Liza P.
I love that he says my name on that. Danny Trejo.
How about Trejo?
The baddest man of all
When did
men.
they come up with those tacos?
Hey.
I'm waiting on those tacos.
I know
those
you
blue,
are.
Hey,
that blue taco.
How do you get paid being ugly?
Hey, he's made a lot. He's going to tell you he made a lot of money.
All that money
He made a
because he's
lot
ugly.
of money. That's right. He's a heavy.
I ought to get a little
He's
bit.
a heavy. That's what they call him, a heavy.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little uglier. Maybe I can get a little bit of that.
You'd be a rich man.
Oh, Liz. Oh, come on.
It's a joke.
Come on.
It's a
Leave
joke.
my
You
friend
can
alone.
dish it out, but I
Leave my
can't
friend
take
alone.
it.
Come on.
Leave my friend alone.
You got the white guy.
You know what?
Come on, let's go.
You know what we were talking about? We were talking about being competitive.
Yeah.
This guy right here is one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet in your life. I enjoy
from
playing with
everything
him.
you've said. From everything, I wish you could get the. I wish in the commercials we could hear what everybody was saying on
We
this
can't
set
hear what
because-
we're saying. Too
right,
many
because
words.
It's the best stuff. Too many bad
Too
words.
many words going around. We can't say all the
Here
words.
he is. You're talking about him. Here he is back in the day.
Look at that helmet loose. That helmet's loose. That helmet's loose. I got too big a helmet on.
Yeah. That's amazing. But
Yeah, there we go.
Amazing.
Uh-oh.
Got that big old head.
How about that?
Uh-oh.
Leroy, now you ought not to have started talking about Dennis's head.
Now-
That's not a nice thing
Now
for
look
you
at
to be
that. Look
saying.
at that helmet.
You know what I want to
Fits
show
perfect. That helmet
you?
fits
You know, we
perfect. Look.
showed a little
bit of
earlier
face,
this year.
A little bit of face coming out there.
A great story.
A little bit of face. A little bit of face. A little bit of
Dennis,
face.
by the way, I'm just joking, the most handsome guy on the set.
Yeah.
Let us come up to get a tour of his ranch in Paso Robles, and he took us into the Harrah Shrine and showed us one of his favorite photos from back in the day. Here.
But that's Jackie Ray showing. You can see his abs. Jackie Slater has one big ab. You know, needless to say, he played 20 years in the Hall of Fame, so I guess you really don't have to have abs. What in the world?
You know,
what in the world?
I just got done paying you a compliment, man.
You know what?
They come up to your ranch and that's the only picture of me you can show them?
That's the only one I had. You know,
man.
I be honest with you.
That's the only time I ever took a picture with my ab exposed.
No, you were in the Pro Bowl. when we was in the fight against the Jets, Mark Gastineau come with a short shirt on, had his abs all out.
Yeah.
Jackie Ray cut his Pro Bowl jersey off, belly all hanging out. He was sitting on the bench, and the poor thing, his pants didn't come all the way up. And you can see the crack of his butt. You can see the crack of his butt. You know, it's not like Jackie just say. All I can say is, you know, he's a fine dressing man. You know,
Oh, boy.
but he ought to leave that midriff deal out of there.
Look at the picture right here. Look at the two of you walking
That's
on the
one
field
of
right
my
there.
favorite
Mine
pictures.
too.
That's one of my favorite pictures of all time. Because that's two guys with an attitude.
Ain't
And
no
you
doubt
can
about
just,
it.
it gives me chill bumps right now because that just, I can talk about that swagger. We know, I mean, we're going to come off and just do everything we possibly can because we got Eric Dickerson behind us. We are going to fight for we're going to do everything we can to give him a little seam, anything we can. And as soon as we get through, we're going to run down there and peel him off of him and pick him up, and we're going to let them know we're here to play and we mean business. And we're going to kick your butt today.
I'll tell you what.
All day long.
I'm not kidding either.
All day long.
All day long.
Best
We'll be
offensive
right
line in
back with
football.
more. We'll be right back.
He gets to go.
Next week, another game from London. This time it is the Redskins and the Bengals. We will have that game right here on Fox 11 beginning at 6:30 in the morning. Remember, it is bye week for your Rams. Jackie, what in the world?
I have no idea what in the world. How about Ray Rice on a treadmill, uphill, going 22 miles per hour?
Oh, my.
22 miles per hour.
He's lucky he didn't fall flat on his face.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. Can you imagine that he could run that fast with a football in his hand and, you know, straight down a football field, Leroy?
Well, wait
you
a second.
think?
Leroy could run that fast if his ears weren't so big. the wind messed with it. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but
listen, is it true that Joe Montana said something about your ears?
Yeah,
Did he say something about your ears?
Joe did say something about my ears.
Joe Montana, I was offended when he said that to you, Leroy. I'm still offended when I see him to this day.
It makes me mad too.
You were just being nice to him.
Yeah,
When he said something about your
I just
ears.
say, hey, man, Joe, how come you haven't thrown me an interception, Barry Manilow? I've been playing you for 7 years.
And then he said it.
He unleashed it. And everybody on the team heard him unleash it. And it's so bad we can't even say it right here. We'll be right back.
We can't say it.
Yes.
No! The commercials, that's where it's all happening. Don't forget, we are your World Series station. You can see all the games right here on Fox 11.
Oh, Lord have mercy. My soul, my soul.
Game 1 is Tuesday night. I'll be on at 4 o'clock. Joining me, Fox Sports West analyst, Jose Mota of the Angels.
With a 1-point lead. Whalen is going to have to heave. She does. That's it. The LA Sparks have slain the Mighty Lynx. They are your 2016 WNBA champions.
Magic.
Magic's team, that's right. Congratulations to the Sparks. They beat the Minnesota Lynx on Thursday to win the WNBA championship. The Sparks will celebrate their title tomorrow at LA Live. They've got a big championship event going on, open to the public, and appearances from the 2016 LA Sparks championship team. 4 o'clock, that's when it's happening. We'll be right back. You know Magic.
Oh, yeah.
First swing, yeah. You play fantasy?
I'll do that in the tag. So I'll start here.
Yes. Team Irving.
A bullet hole. We're not exactly sure, but what I talked to a neighbor here, and he said a short time ago that he saw a bullet casing lying on the ground. So at this point, a suspect is being treated. He is expected to survive, and police continue.
Top fantasy players, brought to you by McDonald's all-day breakfast menu starting lineup.
Top fantasy quarterbacks. Andrew Luck shows up in this week's stats.
Wow, look at that.
353 yards.
3 touchdowns.
Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. And everyone's worried about Aaron Rodgers right now.
I don't
What's
know
going
why.
on up there in Green Bay?
I don't know why.
All right, let's move on to running backs. Melvin Gordon with 68 yards but 2 touchdowns. Jay Ajayi is the one who's really lighting it up, 214 yards. Leroy, you got him?
He's on my fantasy team, so.
That's the kid in Miami.
Leroy and I are in the same fantasy league, and Leroy beat me. Not this week, though. Matt Forte, 100 yards and 1 touchdown. Okay, how about the receivers? Devontae Adams, 132 yards, 2 TDs. A.J. Green back in there. Wonder who has him, 169. Do you guys play? You guys don't bother with fantasy. You couldn't care less about fantasy, Jackie, right?
I got my own fantasy going by coaching college football right now. I couldn't be having more fun.
Yeah, but it's real, and your offensive line is awesome there.
Thank you. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, Azusa Pacific. Yeah, and they won again yesterday, right?
57-0, I believe it was.
The Rams could use Jackie Ray's talent. I'm telling you.
Well, that's awfully nice of you to say that.
I'm just telling you.
But I got my hands full right now.
The man knows what he's doing.
With Joe Cup.
He knows what he's doing, and
that's awfully nice of you to say
I totally believe that.
Are you boiling it down to that offensive line? Because quarterback problems and running back problems.
Well, I would just, to me, that's the nucleus of your team, your offensive line, your defensive line, your linebackers, whatever. I mean, to me, they need to step it up, and it's just going to take a little bit. It's just going to take a little bit, just a little more attitude, a little better sets, just doing everything, coming off the ball, covering, getting to those linebackers. They can do it. They can do it. They just need to get that attitude and they've lost 3 in a row.
But
so what? Just go
you know
out
as
there.
an attitude, the fans, you can only put up with so much of this kind of thing.
And you know what? Turn that into something positive. Turn fear into anger. Turn whatever into something positive. Come out there and play ball. Come off of the football.
Are you ready to go block somebody?
I think this is Dennis Harrah.
Let's go play. Let's go play. Let's go play.
All I'm saying is every play I go, you know what? They're not going to blame this on me. I'm kicking somebody's butt. I don't care who it is, but they're not going to blame this loss on me. So if you have that attitude and just go, hey, they're not blaming this on me.
And I think like with the offensive line, you guys were on probably the best in football for sure for a long time. You guys fed off each other because you know, you're all pros, and so you want to make sure you keep up with the Joneses. If Jackie's doing good, you want to do better. And if Dennis Smith is doing good, you want to do better than him. So you guys have a lot of competition on that offensive line.
All right, guys, we got to go. Yes or no, real fast. Even though Fisher says Keenum should stay, should he stay? Even though Fisher says, yes or no?
If he believes that, if he makes that statement, then I'm going to trust him.
Jackie, all right, being nice to the coach, supporting the coach. We will see you later. We're going to pass it off to the news with Jeff and Christine.